Mirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Shakshurumritam Yena Tasme Shri Gurave Namaha Gurave Gorachandraya Radhikaye Tadaraye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Reading from Vedanta Sutra, second chapter, part 3, starting verse or Sutra 32. So we're speaking about Jiva Tattva. Now the sutra is reading Karta Shastrartha Vatvat. It's always short, huh? It's aphorism, sutra. The meaning of this sutra is the individual soul is an agent, like in the sense of a doer of action, because this gives meaning to the scripture, Shastra. So there's a doubt, because there's always actually, every time there's a sutra, there's a doubt preceding or just after. The doubt is about the capacity of the soul to act, because there are a quotation in the scriptures that says otherwise. Like, Prakriti Kriyamanani Gune Karmani Sarvasha Ahankara Vimudatma Kartaham Iti Manyate. Krishna is saying that all actions are accomplished by the modes of nature, by the gunas. The soul, deluded by false ego, thinks that he is the doer, but he is not the doer. So then, the question is the jiva the doer or not? The sutra that we just read, beginning with karta, karta means one who acts, established the siddhanta. It is a siddhanta sutra. The jiva is the agent, he is the doer. Otherwise, shastra has no purpose. There's no meaning to the shastra. Why do we say this? Because often the shastra enjoins someone to act. Like, for example, swarga, kamo, yajita. If you want to enjoy swarga, then you must sacrifice, do the sacrifice. Sacrifice, fire ritual, worship of the deity, austerities, charity. If only matter is acting, non-sentient, unconscious gunas are the agent, then the scriptures, they teach for nothing. Why are they teaching for action? If it is just nature acting, why is the scripture saying you should do this and you should avoid this? In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is teaching Arjuna to fight. Arjuna wants not to fight. If the gunas are just working, then he should say, oh, don't worry, you can sit down here, or you don't have to do anything. The material nature is going to act through you. Why do the guru enjoin the disciple to follow the sadhana if only nature is working? So when the scriptures is teaching that jiva is not an agent, like in Bhagavad Gita, Prakrite Kriyamanani, only Prakriti is acting, then it means that the jiva is not free in his action. He's influenced by the gunas. He's being pulled by the guna. Like, I'm forced to act in rajas or tamas. I have like no choice. But I am the doer. But I'm acting forcibly. But the Vedanta Sutra is giving an example. He's saying, as a carpenter, he's using tools. Suppose he's making a statue out of wood or a table. So he's using the tools. So similarly, the living entity is using the senses, the mind, to work. But it is the soul that is actually the doer. The soul is a knower. He knows, he feels. I step on your toe, it feels hurt, because your consciousness is all the way to your toe, or to the tip of your hair. So you feeling, you knowing. Gyatri, you are a doer. Kartri, and an enjoyer. Bhoktri. If you were not an enjoyer, you would not be motivated to act. If Prakriti is the only agent, then it will mean that Prakriti also is the enjoyer. But Purusha, non-Prakriti, is the enjoyer. So this will contradict the fact that the jiva exists only because of enjoyment, and he enjoys because he's acting, he's doing something. And also about karma. How can you say this is your karma, this is my karma, if only nature is working? How can you say I suffer or enjoy good or bad karma if I don't do anything? So therefore, this should be put into right perspective. Srila Madhvacharya is saying differently. He's saying about the sutra that the Lord is forcing the living entity to work, to act. There's a saying in one of the Upanishad called Koshitaki Upanishad. It says, wishing to lead the jiva up to heaven, the Lord makes him do good actions. Wishing to lead the jiva down to hell, the Lord makes him do bad action. The Lord chooses whomever he wants, whomever he likes to go to heaven by inciting him to do good work, and whoever he likes, he dislikes, he sends to hell. Some of the religion, like Islam, has this mentality. They call this mektub. Everything is written. They say also inshallah. It's God's will. They say that actually God has decided who's going to heaven, who's going to hell, independent of what he does. It is predestination. You are predestined to do such action leading to heaven, such action leading to hell. Then there's no free will, there's no freedom. And this is the wrong understanding of Paramatma. Paramatma is not forcing you to do good or bad action. He knows your heart. He's in your heart. He knows what you want. And you want to go this way, he will encourage you to go this way. You want to go that way, he will encourage you to go that way. He will also put whatever is necessary in front of you to help you. And if you want to go to the Lord, he will also give you whatever is necessary. But it is not like he's deciding. He's just a witness, passive. But he provides everything you need. That is why when you pray, then Paramatma are listening and answering through good or bad situation. Sometimes a bad situation can be a good one. Oh Lord, I want to be free from this job. I don't like this job. So you lose your job. You're being fired. Paramatma has answered, not the way you wanted. You were frustrated, you say, I don't want this job anymore, but you didn't say, well, I don't want to have the pay from the job. But then Paramatma is listening, say, okay, let go of the job. Now what? Oh, well, I don't know. Either you turn to spiritual life, or you start looking for another job, or you become very depressed. So he's encouraging you, according to your desire and your action, to go this way or that way. He's not forcing you. So this is the aspect about karta, the doing, or kartri. It depends how the termination. You can say kartri or karta. Then next sutra, amsho nana vyapadeshad anyata chapi dasha kitavaditvam ayete eke. This is like longer sutra. There's some sutra that are longer, some just 3 words, some are longer. But this is a very important one, because it says the individual soul is a part, amsha, of Brahman. On account of the declaration of variety in the scripture, otherwise it is also non-different from Brahman, because there are declaration also saying so. So there is declaration in the Veda that Jiva is non-different from Brahman, like Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, Anyam Atma Brahma. And there are statements saying that actually the soul is different. There's 2 souls in the body, like 2 birds. This is Shvetashvatara Upanishad saying like this. Tu kshetragya, Bhagavad Gita is saying. There's a parakshetragya also in the body, Paramatma. And many other. In this sutra, this is called Nana Vyapadesh. Nana means many, Vyapadesh, differences. So Shankaracharya, he's saying is not taking this sutra as what he says. That's usual for Shankaracharya. He always wants to twist the meaning of the sutra. The sutra is saying Jiva is a part of Brahman, but Shankaracharya add one particle, Eva, like, or as. So amsha, Eva, as if Jiva is a part, but it's not really a part, because according to him it's always an illusion. Jiva is an illusion. You are Brahman, you are not separated. But this is artificial reading, because if Srila Vyasadeva wanted to say that actually Jiva is not amsha or part of Brahman, he would not go through the trouble of saying, oh, he's amsha. He's not going to say, oh, almost like, or it seems to be like. No, he would not say. He would just say, he is Brahman. So Ramanujacharya, he's saying that amsha doesn't mean a drop from the ocean. This is the example often the Mayavada give, that we all one, like a drop in the ocean, everybody is a drop. The drop has the same quality as the ocean. This is not a right analogy, because first of all, the drop and the ocean are non-living entity. And we're speaking about a living force. All the sky contained in the pot. They give that example, Gata Akasha, that in the pot there's also air, and this air is also within the sky, and so this is like closed in body, just like the soul is enclosed in the body. So similarly, Brahman is enclosed within the pot. If you break the pot, if you break the body, then it becomes one again. This is not a good example, because the sky and the Atma are two different things. Akasha is material element, and Atma is a living soul. Because of the Atma, then matter becomes alive. Not alive, but becomes animated. This anima. Anima means what animates the body. This is the soul. So, and he also say that Jiva is not amsha or part, like something that will be cut off from its source, like a piece of stone cut off with a chisel. See, you're making a statue, you're making chisel, and then you have a part of the stone. No, because that will mean the Brahman loses his size, becomes divided, and Brahman cannot be divided. So the whole of Brahman is not the sum of its parties. If you have like one stone or one. When I was a child, I was tricky with my younger brother. You know, on Easter we get this chocolate made of this egg chocolate, and we'll tell him if we break the eggs, then we'll have many pieces. So we break the eggs and I will eat, you know, of course, and I will tell him that actually it's more than just the egg. So you destroy the original oneness to make all this many different variety. But Jiva and Brahman is not the same. And there's no trick. There's nobody tricking, saying that there's going to be more Brahman, you know, distributed. No, this is a wrong example. Not my chocolate egg, but the example that Brahman is one, it becomes divided into many. No, it cannot be. A better example is the sun. This is Jiva Goswami giving that example. The sun, and also the Upanishads, and the rays. But actually, the Jiva is not a ray. It's one atom in one ray, because it's very small. We've seen in a previous lecture that Jiva is Anu Chaitanya, not Vibhu Chaitanya. So Bhagavad Gita is also saying, Mamaivam Shava Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. My Jiva in this in this world is also one of my amsha, part. And Jiva Goswami, he's writing in his Paramatma Sandarbha, he's quoting Jamatri Muni. Jamatri Muni is a sage from the Sri Vaishnav community in the Ramanuja line. He's giving all the different qualities of the soul. Atma na devo na naro na tiryak stavaro na cha na devo nandriyam neva mana prano nanapi di. The Atman is neither a god nor a human being nor subhuman, nor is it immovable being. It is not the body nor the senses, mind, vital force, or the intellect. Na jado na vikari na gyana matratmako na cha svasme swayam prakash syad ekarupa swarupa bhak. It is not inert, not mutable, nor mere consciousness. We've seen that also. It is not just mere consciousness. It is conscious of itself and self-luminous, swayam prakash. It is of one form and is situated in its own essential nature. Chetano vyapti shirascha chid arandatmaka tata ahamarta pratikshetam bino anur nitya nirmalaha. It is conscious, pervades the body, is intrinsically of the nature of consciousness and bliss. It is the direct reference of the pronoun I, aham, harta. It is distinct from other individual selves. I am an individual in each body. It is very small, anu, eternal, nitya, unblemished. Tata gyatritva kartritva bhuktritva ninja dharmaka. It is knower, it is doer, it is the enjoyer, and by his own constitution, paramatmeka sheshatva svabhava sarvada svata iti. By its own constitution, it is always the integrated part of the complete whole Paramatma. This is a very interesting point. This is a very interesting point because it says that actually we are, as Jiva soul in this world, part of Paramatma. Who is Paramatma? Not just the soul within the body. Paramatma also designates the Purusha, Mahapurusha, Mahavishnu. We are part of Mahavishnu. Jiva is a part, Shesha, of the whole self, Sheshi. It is its intrinsic nature, Svabhava, is to be a unique part of the higher self, Paramatmeka Sheshatva. The living entity doesn't come from Goloka Vrindavan, but is described to be a ray, Rashmi of Mahavishnu, as a subatomic size, Paramanu. This is quite complex. We'll deal with it again next time. Srila Jiva Goswami is quoting again the same kind of reflection in his Bhakti Sandarbha. Paramatma Vaibhava Ganane Tatashta Shakti Rupanam. The Jiva comes from Tatashta Shakti and is part of Paramatma, not Goloka Vrindavan. Madhvacharya and Baladev Vidyabhushana saying there are two kinds of amsha. Swamsha, Swa-amsha or Swarupamsha, the avatar of the Lord like Matsya, Kurma, Baraha, Nrishinga, and Vibhinamsha. Vibhinamsha means, V is a prefix, means separated. And Bina means different. It is separated in different amsha. And this is the jiva. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, Tad binamsha sha jivam prakritika varitam, tad vimuktam sha bhavan beda beda prakasham. And so the jiva is vibhinamsha. And Krishna is the source of amsha, of all the amsha. Swamsha, vibhinamsha, kala. Ete shamsa kala pumsam Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So this is the amsha amshi, the relationship between one, the whole, and the part. Sometimes avatar is called swamsha, but they call swa amsha. He is himself. It's not a part separated, but vibhinamsha means a separated part, not in the sense of being cut off, but in the sense of being different, emanating from him. So this is it for today, and then next time we'll see more about this idea of being part of Paramatma. Banchakalpa tarubhyacha kripasindu bhyaivacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.